Good morning. We're very glad to be here with you today. The energy has been very intense, and the energy is going to continue to expand as the human collective is cultivating a new world. And right now, the vibrational data is being put into the grid and intermingling, where for a long time, the grid below held more of the light-working energy when it came to the new world, when it came to a new way, when it came to the old systems needing to come undone. And now the collective on your planet is going through quite an awakening. And they are screaming for change. It is heard. You see, energetically, what you ask for is done every time. And it is about how we start to receive this energy going forward as a collective. How do you let this new world in? How do you let this new world in? Many of your hearts may be saying love. That love is the ultimate truth, and that is what we should be leaning towards at this time collectively. We are going to intervene for just a moment as Crystal's consciousness is wanting us to remind you all to trust yourself. We are just bringing forward data. The vibration on the planet that will do the most change is not love. The frequencies on the planet that will cause a ripple effect of what is next. It is not love per se. You see, the frequencies of love on your planet have been heavily distorted in itself. And so even in the highest calibers of that which the human can see as love, it's still a lower dimensional aspect. It's still caught up in expectation and attachment. And we are going to say that the highest expression of the source field within you at this moment is authenticity. Authenticity. You leaning in to who you are and letting it be. Letting it really become in this reality. As the light workers begin to truly express themselves in higher form, which your collective is shifting into now, that higher form of expression is going to catalyze a massive shift, as it always has. And so the light workers on the planet are being called to anchor and recalibrate, organize this energy and this new understanding so that you can be the beacon of light that you are here to be. And if you are Crystal is intervening with her consciousness. We understand that this message may make you a bit uncomfortable, because you are not aware of where we are leading your words. You are not currently aware of where we are going to take you. So the egoic structure, the personality structure, wants to chime in and say, hey, don't go there. But we are going to remind you that we are here for the highest good of humanity, and that everybody here has the discernment within. They have power to agree or disagree with you, and none of it is your business. So as we come into this role together, please trust. You know us so well, and we always wrap around our messaging. Yet when we tune into new frequencies, it can be difficult for you to pave that path in your own mind, in your own psyche of how the information is going to connect together. And that is only because you are needing this message too. Sweet being, you are needing to hear this too. Love is the ultimate. Love is the answer, but not the way that you've known it. Not the way that you understand the concept of love on your planet. You see, many have attachments with even the word love, that it is a feeling, that it is catalyzed in circumstances or exchanges. And yes, there is energy exchange in those moments, but we want you to know from a universal perception that is not love. That is adoration, attachment, connection. Love is an expression. And the closest thing that you have to expressing Source's love in these physical bodies is being the most true self that you could possibly find in there. Becoming the aspects of your inner being that you know, that you've met, that you have spent time with, and allow that energy, that knowing, to come alive within you. To come alive within you. To be expressed. That is love. That is love. That is how you love another. You let them have the real you. And what they do with that is up to them. Yeah, Crystal? Yeah? But you must express who you are. And yes, we understand there is a process and a path to being able to stand so firmly in that light of authenticity. We will say at this moment in the fourth dimension, that is what the human collective is coming into. Opening their hearts for others and the self. Learning how to love the self, which leads to a deeper understanding of how to love others. Learning how to speak up for oneself. Speak up for oneself. Speak up for one's family. Speak up for one's ancestry. The collective is learning how to speak up. The collective is learning how to have a vision for a better day. And in the midst of that, they are purging thought. They are purging fear. They are purging. And it's good. And the connection between the human being and God, the human being and Source's light, is so strong in the crown chakra. So strong in the crown chakra that there is nothing that could ever stop these activations. And these energies that you are seeing expressed, they may not feel like love. You may not feel love when somebody expresses boundary to you. But I promise you that's love. Learning to be in your authentic self, in the true nature of the higher intelligence that you are, Many, many timelines within your fractaled self have merged into your field for you to have access to all of these informations, all of these data points. Books upon books from the Akashic record opening within you. Utilize your practices to meet this new space. The 1111 portal was an activation of a different kind, because the human collective is so well along their way in this journey of authenticity and coming back online with oneself. And these activations have changed everything. Crystal has been feeling this immensely, and we're certain that you are too. And it doesn't mean that everyone is feeling bad, because many are feeling higher and happier and lighter than they have ever felt. More connected and more certain than they've ever felt. And by each being on this planet allowing themselves to have this experiential moment exactly where they are, you are bringing the higher frequencies of New Earth back to this planet. Crystal, we will just say this as we understand even that last comment has created some energy in your heart, some resistance in your heart. We will say, settle in with this. Allow yourself the gift of this message. Bring it forward in today's recording. You can toss it. You can let it fester over your heart for a few days. You can chop it up and take bits and pieces. Or you can deepen your trust in who you're becoming. You see, part of your activation around the 1111 portal, Crystal, was that your consciousness went into a whole nother chord of energy. And this is why we've been talking to you about the difference between frequencies, vibration, and chords of energy. Chords of energy are like containers, and there are a few containers within each dimension. And as you rise up in container, you get closer to exiting that dimension. We've been giving you this information so that you can understand the heightened intelligence that you are coming into contact with in these spaces. And the reason you've been feeling that pullback, that it is just not time to create right now, is because you must organize this new knowing inside of you. There is no sense of being paralyzed in this moment. You are calibrating to a higher frequency. And you must not be hard on yourself. And in order for you to attain these higher vibrations of channel, these messages that we are giving to you, you must continue to move out of your own way. And this is the path of many who are still clearing the third eye chakra. For a long time, the messages that we are bringing forward were coming in through the heart. But as we've been elevating the consciousness, the telepathy of your third eye has been activated in a very strong sense. And when you turn on your analytical mind in the middle of receiving these messages, you interfere with your human essence into our co-creation. And we must backtrack just a little and raise your frequency back up, because that is not where we are bringing our messaging through. You see. And it only takes a moment for us to say to you, Crystal, knock it off, for you to be able to pull yourself back and come into channel again, just like you have in this moment. But this is going to feel foreign right now, and we will say that for most that are amping up their abilities and gifts. You have moved into a new caliber of light. And in anchoring this information within you, you are still organizing many things. So when we bring in our messaging that is of our collective energy and messaging, and you are trying to interpret it because of the newness that you feel, you are interfering. And we would also encourage you to leave this message in if you choose to put this channel out, because we feel like many are interfering in their own messaging at this time. There are many timelines merging on your planet, and so you may pick up on something and say, this is how this is going to turn out. But because of the consistency of frequencies merging, the timeline unfolding is very sporadic. And you know that you're going back in time and forward in time and back in time. And every time you go back in time, you take your memories with you, and it propels you even further in this timeline. It's what's speeding up the ascension. And you see, you allow us to talk to you about these things in many ways. But in this facet, we have much more clarity because you do not intervene your thinking mechanisms. You let us be. You let the information be fluid. And you're really good at doing that when you're comfortable in the messaging, when the frequency feels like a beautiful resonance within you. But because of the activation that you are still anchoring, you are having a bit of a moment. We love you so much. Crystal Lee, stay out of your own way. You are not like the others. We have told you this many times. You are meant to be here exactly as you are, bringing forward exactly as you do. And we want this to encourage the others to continue to move forward in their creation, in their mission, to help the collective through this ascension process, because many are awakening and many do not understand what is happening. And it is not important to any of us over here in the higher dimensions on how you bring them back home to their heart, to their connection with themselves, with the God and Goddess within. It does not matter to us what healing modality you learn or intuit to bring forward information to your collective to bring their hearts back into the higher dimensions. Create, create, create. Be who you are and create. And the hearts that are meant to hear the messages will, and they will flourish. That is the gift of the light that you allow to run through your body in these transmissions. We are with you. And when we tell you in these messages that you are not alone, that includes you too, Crystal. Thank you. Man. These are the days. This is the transition that you have been preparing for. And it may not look the way you have been taught that love is expressed. But we will remind you that even anger is love when you are taking your power back. We will tell you that frustration is love as you take your power back. We will tell you that overwhelm is love as you take your power back. Neutrality is love as you take your power back. A heart that knows how to express inward is an expression of love. A throat chakra that speaks up. It's love. We will interject that within each chakra there is a polarity at this time. And the expression of the chakra and the higher polarity will always lead you home. A throat chakra connected to the third eye will have a vision of where a conversation will go. It will know the things to say, to express fully. There are many changes happening within you. Please don't be afraid to take time and rest. As the collective heightens itself into experiencing a more fifth dimensional state of being, you will notice that you will want to have more experiences, and that you may not feel a desire to rush towards things the way you once did. Learning to bask in this now moment. Learning to be in this now moment as the most authentic self relinquishes expectation, gives others the permission to do the same. Sometimes Crystal will feel guilty for showing up as herself instead of maybe the way others would want her or the way they would need her. And we will remind everyone here that while you are collectively all walking each other home into the higher dimensions of oneness, into that love that we all talk about, the way to lead them is through the beingness of who you are. The way to lead them is showing them. The way to lead them is to be the one that walked the walk, that showed up in this place. And it's a process, it's never done. But by being our authentic selves, We can bring back the joy of this experience. We can bring back the ability to cultivate that joy in this experience. Because when you know yourself, you will know that that expression is within you. It's who you are. And we will keep leading the way home. Wherever that may be for each soul. Authenticity is the highest form of expression at this time, because it'll allow you to be both your God self and your human self at the same time. And this merge is where we're heading. This merge of your light and physicality being balanced is where we're heading. And that is love. And when we all get there, we will move into the next chord. We will move into the next chord of frequencies. And we will begin to understand what the expression of the source field love is. Because it is much, much deeper than we think and know at this time. Soon we will know love altogether, deeply. But for this phase that humanity is in, be yourself. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. And shine your light however you need. Shine your light however you're called. In the blink of an eye, everything can change. Stay steady, light worker. Your homecoming awaits. Your celebration will be big. We love you more than you could imagine. We are always with you. We will always be guiding your heart into higher heights. Together we will always reach for the stars. And for today we are complete.